Righto, so next I'm going to have a look at some limits. When we talk about limits in maths, it's basically just asking how it is that something behaves as we approach a particular value. And the way that we would read this is we would say the limit as h tends to 0 as h approaches 0 of 3x to the power of 4 minus 5x squared h. So what this is saying is how does this behave as h gets really close to 0? And this is a really key idea in calculus, so in differentiation and anti-differentiation, and it's used to sort of really help us a lot when we get into doing things like differentiating by first principles. So all that I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, if we make h 0, then let's see what happens. So that's going to be equal to 3x to the power of 4 minus 5x squared times 0. And, well, we can pretty quickly and easily evaluate that to just get the answer of 3x to the power of 4. So this other term here will disappear. So as h approaches 0, we expect this term to disappear, and it really can be solved as simply as that without having to do the steps that I've used in the working out here. The reason that I chose the example of h approaching 0 is because that is the common example, and we're always going to be dealing with h approaching 0 when we get up to the first principles. But I thought I'd include this other example here just to highlight that it can be a little bit different, and we don't always have to have h approaching 0. It can be other variables doing other things as well. So this time we have the limit as x approaches 3 of 4x. So all that I do is I take that 3 and I put it into the equation, and we'll see what actually happens. So that's just going to be 4 times 3, which we evaluate to be 12. This here can also be done on the calculator. So here we have the calculator. Just excuse me for a minute while I get this sorted out. Just move this stuff out of the way. Right. Get rid of all that mess from previous work, and I can do this here fairly quickly. So we're going to Math 2. This is where I should find most of my calculus things. So here we have the derivative. We can do various other derivatives. We can do the antiderivative, and we can also do the limit. So I'm going to choose the limit, and I'll do the same question here. So it's as h approaches 0. So I'll just go into ABC. We're doing as h approaches 0 of, the equation is 3x to the power of 4 minus 5x squared h. Now I'll just make sure I include that, times h, and hitting execute there does give the answer of 3x to the power of 4. So that's really all there is to it. It's quite a good idea to use the calculator when you're evaluating these kinds of things, but it can be done fairly easily without it as well. Anyway, we'll leave it there. See you next time.